If you're a strong, successful, and independent woman that has a lot to offer a man and you're still single, if you keep attracting men that don't commit or don't put in the effort that you really need, if you do get a man, but he seems to fall through your fingers, meaning he cheats or you guys always tend to break up or you feel like you're kind of sabotaging their relationships, keep on watching. This video is for you because I'm going to share the 4 top misconceptions that single, strong, successful women make with men that have them repelling all the good guys that they actually want to attract and have them attracting all the guys that you don't want. You know who I'm talking about. You don't want that losers and liars and little boys, and you're actually not attracting the men that you do want, the providers and the amazing men. And if this is you, keep on watching because I'm going to let you know why this is happening and how to get it to stop forever. All right, we're going to get right into it. So misconception number 1. You think that you need to be the one to make the move and initiate contact with him so that he knows that you're interested. You think, well, if I DM him or I send him a message on the dating app, or if I make it very clear that I'm into him and start the process and ask him out, then it's going to make it way easier and it's going to get us on the fast track to dating. And that's actually not true. The truth is, masculine men that are loving and loyal and want to protect and provide for a woman, a man that wants a relationship and eventually marriage, he actually needs the thrill of the chase. He wants to pursue you. He wants to be the one to see you, get attracted to you, and be the one to initiate contact. Why? Men are designed and created to chase you. Women are designed to choose. Their whole body is actually designed in their brain, their eyes, so many parts of them are designed to be the hunter and be essentially the predator and you be the prey. Times have changed, but biologically, men and women have not. So he wants to be the one to pursue you. And when you go up to him, you actually take away the thing that he loves so much, which is the thrill of the chase. So it's important that you learn that when you initiate it and you let him know that and you start things off, you already start off on a bad note and you take away the thing that you like, which is to be adored and seen and pursued, and you take away the opportunity for him to chase you. There's this thing called the possum effect. When an animal is playing dead and in front of a predator and it goes to want to hunt and kill, but the animal that he approaches, that the predator approaches, is already dead, he will think something is wrong with it when it's already there ready for him. He wants to be the one that actually hunts it and kills it and feels the thrill of killing its prey and bringing it home. So when a possum is there, it creates what's called a survival response or stress response in the predator, and it actually makes him believe that something's wrong with the possum, and he leaves it there. This is why possums do this. It's a survival adaptation that these animals learned. And this is very similar to what women do with men. It creates a stress response in a man when a woman goes up to him. Will he want it? Will he take it? 100%, because a man isn't going to say no to a beautiful, strong, successful woman like you. So he'll take it, but subconsciously he'll think something is wrong with you because you came up and didn't let him chase you. Biologically, a man knows that he is designed to chase a woman and to go after you. So when he doesn't have to, when the chase isn't there, he automatically believes something is wrong with you, and he will always low-key think of you as the possum, as something's wrong with her. I don't know what it is quite yet, but there is something, and you drop your value because you initiated the chase. So ladies, let's stop that. That's actually something, it's a big misconception we need to stop doing. Misconception number 2, you think that if you have sex with him very soon, if he sees your body, if he experiences being intimate with you, that he's gonna love it and he's gonna choose you because you guys had that connection and he became close to you. The truth of the matter is that men don't bond with women and don't choose with a woman because they had sex. Women, on the other hand, we do bond very quickly, and we do see it as a sign of and feel oxytocin and see it as a sign of connection when we have sex with a man. But what it does instead to a man is it actually makes him feel like it was very easy to get you. And again, it takes away the thrill of the chase, and it takes away the second part that a man needs, which is he needs a challenge. He needs to feel like there's something at the end of the road to get you. When it feels too easy, when there isn't a challenge, when he already got what he wanted, which was sex, or to conquer you, which is one of the things that a man wants, is physical intimacy with you. When he gets it too early on, this takes away the challenge that a man needs. He loves the challenge. When he needs a chase, he also needs a challenge. The truth is, a loving and loyal masculine man needs a challenge. He's challenged by giving his time, his effort, and meeting your high standards. So when one of your standards is, we're not having sex until we're in a committed relationship, till we're married, or whatever point that is, but we're not doing it now, he understands that because there's a challenge to get you and he needs to put in effort and time, he actually sees you as more valuable later. When, again, it's very similar to the possum effect. When it's very easy and he doesn't have to pursue you, something's wrong. When he doesn't have to meet a challenge to get you, again, there's a subconscious thing that goes, an alarm that goes off in his mind and says, there's something wrong here. It's too easy. Why is it easy? There must be something wrong. And again, your perception and your value goes down because he views you as low value. Men fall in love really differently. The things that women need to fall in love are completely different than a man. One of the things that a man needs is he needs to exert effort and time. A man knows that all good things take time, and they take effort, they take energy, they even take money, they take investing his resources. So when you give your physical intimacy, your body, when you give your feelings way too quickly, when you give your trust way too soon, it sets off an alarm, and he understands subconsciously that there isn't a challenge here. It's too easy. And when he thinks things are too easy, he automatically correlates that with you being too easy. And a man doesn't choose, commit to, or marry an easy woman. The men that are masculine, loving, and loyal and want to have a wonderful woman, he wants a woman that is respectful, that was hard to get, that was high value, because that's a woman that he really treasures and values, and that's a woman that he commits to. So notice if this is something that you're doing, if it's very common for you to want to give your body because it feels like this is going to be a way to get him to choose you. Men don't choose based on sex. It actually makes them lose their drive, and they see you more as defective or something's wrong with you. We know there isn't anything wrong with you, but that's what his subconscious tells him. The other thing is that you need to understand that when you have sex too soon, it's actually really bad for you because it creates so much oxytocin in your system, so much of that love bonding hormone in a woman, something that a man doesn't get initially. A guy can have a lot of sex and he doesn't bond, but women, we're built really differently. We're designed in a way that when we have sex with the man, we bond and we become very, very attached, which is beautiful. We're supposed to. God made us this way. But initially, it's not advantageous for you. Why? When there's a lot of oxytocin in your system, the bonding hormone that you get after you have physical intimacy with the man, what this does is it kicks your brain offline and it kicks your alarm system offline. I call this your judge and I call this your alarm system. This is your amygdala and this is your prefrontal cortex. They get kicked offline. Oxytocin, what it does is it makes you feel really good and really calm, and it makes you feel like connected to a man. But what this does is it makes you trust him very quickly. No threat anymore. You don't see him as a threat. And it makes you love him very quickly. When there's love and when there's trust, what happens there? You stop seeing the red flags that your alarm system would normally see. And when your brain isn't online, you can't view him through the eyes of logic. You're not using your logic anymore. You're not looking for compatibility. You're not looking and thinking about him. You're just full of emotion and bond because your body thinks, this is my husband. I have a baby in me because we just had sex and I need to claim him. And what this does is it makes you very needy, very insecure and can make you very fearful too early on. This is something that if you act this way early on in a relationship, a man is confused. He thinks, I just met you. I don't even know your email address. Like, why are you claiming me and asking me where I'm going? Think about this. You probably have done this. I sure have done this in my 20s. I think back and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But it's really common for women to do this when we have sex too soon. This is one of the strategies that I teach my clients and my work with them is to manage making love and having sex too soon, because it's something that it's actually a great way to protect yourself from being able to not see the red flags. Red flags start looking pink, light pink, maybe even white, and you start making excuses for things that you would have normally not made excuses for. Normally, you would see when he's looking at all the chicks. You're noticing if he's using 4 credit cards and they're all getting declined. You're noticing if he can't stop drinking and he's belligerent and acting a fool. You would notice these things when on the first couple dates. But if you have sex too soon, this kills it. You're not using your logic. You're not using the wonderful asset of your alarm system, your amygdala, so that you can view things and start to see the red flags. So it makes sense that you think that having sex will bring you guys closer, but that's not how men work. Men are designed to, when they have sex, it doesn't make them bond like women do. So you need to be really careful by doing this. Misconception number 3, you think that if you lead with your successes, with your education, with your titles, with the money that you make, with all your material possessions, your nice house, your big car, all the things, all your accolades, all your titles, if you lead that with him and you're constantly talking about this to impress him, that's going to make him choose you because he's going to see you as a valuable partner. And although these are things that do make for good aspects in choosing a mate, initially when you're leading with this, what it does to a man is it makes you come off as very like salesy, like you're selling yourself instead of being like sitting back and just letting him learn these things. It comes off as very convincing energy. And whenever somebody's in a convincing energy, the other person automatically goes into resisting. Think about how you feel when you go to buy a car and all the car salesmen attack you and they're all trying to get you to buy. Why? They're in need of a commission. They want to make the sale. They want the money. And when a woman really, really wants a man, which is really fair because you're strong, you're single, you're successful, you're independent, you have a really great life already. The guy is the only thing that's missing now, right? But when you really want something, we can go into this very convincing energy and we start listing all of our attributes. You start talking about how much money you make, and at places you went to school, you come off as very salesy. You're trying to impress. And what this does is it almost puts him in a defensive mode. Why? Because these are things that men do to women. Men are the ones that try to impress us. Think about what men do when they're showing us their car, the house that they make, the career that they have, the income that they make, right? They're paying for things. They're leading with their ability to provide. And this happens with a lot of women that have a lot of masculine energy. We go into this, look at what I have instead of who I am. The men usually lead with that. And so when you're leading with masculine energy, guess what this does to him? He gets defensive and he doesn't want to date a man. He wants a very feminine woman. He wants you for who you are, not what you have. So you need to stop leading with this. Because what it actually does is it makes him see you as a competitor, not as a companion. You give off too much masculine competition, like, look what I have. And men, innately, they want to protect and provide. The masculine man that you want, that's what he wants to do is provide. But when you're listing off all your accolades and how much money you make and the house that you have, and you want to pay and show what kind of a mate you are, although you have good intentions, he sees you as more as a competitor, and he sees, Anabell, you already have everything. What do I have to give? You don't really need me. And a man wants to be needed. And when you lead with that, even though you have it, you don't have to lead with it. A man wants a woman that she has a great life and she's taking care of herself. She does have a lot of great things, but she's not leading with it and trying to impress me. She has it. She doesn't talk about it. She's not trying to compete with me. She's actually looking at me and trying to see what I have and wants me to show her. And a man wants to do that. Men do this thing called peacocking. They want to show their feathers. They want to impress. impress you. They want to protect and provide. But when you lead with that, you look like a competition. You don't look like companionship. He doesn't think you need him. And a masculine man wants to feel needed. He wants to feel successful with you. He wants to feel like purposeful. His purpose is to protect and provide. But if you already have that going on and you have that done, he doesn't feel needed by you. So he's going to look for a woman that's more feminine and gives and will seem a little bit more vulnerable and says, yeah, I have this, and I love my life, but what do you have? What's going on with you? Not from a place of give me, because you're not money hungry. You're not a gold digger. You have a great life, but a woman that's just has standards and says, I'm not going to just date anybody. I want to make sure you have your stuff together. He likes that. It's part of that challenge. A man wants to give. The first 2 points that I mentioned earlier, he wants to chase. The second one is he needs a challenge, right? He doesn't want it to be easy. And this third one is he needs to give. He needs to provide. But if you're providing, there's nothing he needs to give now, and he won't see himself as purposeful in the relationship. And that's what a man needs, is to feel purposeful, and he needs to feel needed in a relationship. And misconception number 4, and I think this one's really sneaky, and I think a lot of women don't realize they're doing it, and I think you do it with really good intentions, but I want to share this with you because I think it flies under the radar, and I think a lot of people, not just women, I think a lot of men are doing it, but I want you to notice if you're doing this, because this is coming off as very, very masculine energy, very scared energy. I've talked about the scared masculine girl before. I'm going to link it below. It's a video that went viral on social media, and it's a video, it's gotten a lot of DMs and interest from men and women on my Instagram and my TikTok. So misconception number 4 is you think you need to ask all kinds of questions. You almost need to interrogate him, understand everything about him, his life, his past relationships, if he's done therapy. You want to know all the details about him and his past. And although this is good information because it lets it be a little bit of an indicator of who he was back then and who he might be with you now. What it also gives off is very fearful, scared, defensive, protective energy. And what that does to him is because you're on defense, it puts him in defense. Why? This is a very scared, fearful vibe that makes you almost look like judgmental, and you have all these preconceived notions, and you're almost imposing your past beliefs on him now. You had past experiences with guys, and maybe this is why you're very defensive and you want to know all the red flags so that if you know what's going on with him now, you could just avoid him and throw him back in the water, right? You don't want to kiss any frogs. You just want Mr. Prince Charming. But what it does is, instead of letting the relationship evolve naturally, get to know him naturally with just because you have a great life and you're willing to spend your time to just get to know him, what it does is it makes you ask a lot of questions, and the defensiveness puts him on guard, and it makes him feel like you're judging him. It makes him feel like you're not letting the past be the past, and you're imposing another guy's issues with you onto him. And no guy wants to be misjudged. He doesn't want to be, it almost gives off the vibe of, I'm going to make you pay for what happened to me in the past by another guy. I was hurt, and now I'm defensive and I'm guarded and I got to know everything. And it comes off as rushing. It's like you want to know too much too soon. You're not letting things evolve and play out organically. And no man wants to make the payment on another man's debt from the past. He doesn't want to bear the brunt of your pain from the past. He wants to be with a woman that knows what happened, applied the pain to this guy, and knows that all men are different, and he wants to be judged in a really good way, in a very healthy way. He wants to be looked at based on who he is, not what the other guys did to you. He feels judged when you do this. He feels almost like you're rushing, and no man wants to be rushed, and no man wants to feel defensive. What it also does is it almost makes him feel like you're judging him. And when a man feels judged, he feels and wrongly accused, he feels like a failure. He feels unsuccessful with you. And a man will not be with a woman that makes him feel like a failure or like there's something wrong with him. He wants to be with a woman that makes him feel like a winner, that when they're together, he's being accepted, or just even if you don't accept him, he's saying, listen, you might say to him, what I know so far, I don't think we're a match, but he'll respect that because he knows that you're using him and you're judging him on his criteria, not from George and Robert and Stephen from your past. So you want to notice, are you coming off with this very defensive energy? Do you have past relationships that you haven't forgiven and haven't gotten past, and that now you're bringing all that defensive fear into this relationship? It's something that you really want to watch for. Because if you remember the first 3 points, he needs a chase. He wants to be the one to pursue you. The second one is he needs to be challenged. He doesn't want you to make it easy and just give him everything up front, right? The third one is he needs to give. He wants to be the one that protect and provide. And if you have it all together, there's nothing that he needs to do there. He doesn't feel purposeful. And the last point is he needs to feel like he's a winner with you, like he's accepted for who he is. I call it viewing him as a winner or not as a loser. If you're already making him come in with a deficit of points because of something that your ex Robert did, it's not fair. He doesn't want to be judged for something that somebody else did. And a man always wants to feel like a winner, and he wants to feel successful with you, and he wants to be accepted just for him. I hope that these points helped you. I want you to notice, do you come off as very chasey? Are you initiating contact? Remember, he wants to be the one that chases you and he wants to pursue you. Are you making it too easy for him? Remember, he needs to give his time, his effort. He wants to reach your standards. Men like playing video games. It's that hunter, that killer in him that wants to chase after and kill his prey and take it home and feed his family, right? So if you're making it too easy, if there isn't a challenge, you're taking away the thrill that he loves of conquering something and winning, right? The third one, are you giving too much? Are you leading with your successes? Are you coming off as competitive versus a companion? A man wants to feel purposeful. He wants to give to you. And lastly, are you bringing your past into the present? And are you judging him and interrogating him based on your past fears and making him already lose when what he wants to do and what he needs in a relationship is to feel like a winner? He wants to be accepted for who he is, not from what your ex did to him. These are really, really big and important things that you need to keep a lookout when you're dating. This is very what I call scared masculine girl energy versus being that confident feminine woman that a masculine man wants. He wants a woman in his feminine, and a woman that's in her feminine is allowing him to chase, is allowing him to be challenged, is allowing him to give to her, and allows him to be himself and allows him to be a winner with her. If this feels like something that you're doing, you should definitely download my freebie. My free download is the 10 behaviors that are unintentionally pushing him away. This gives you all the top 10, including these 4 that you may be doing that are subconsciously pushing him away, so that way you can be aware of them and stop doing them. I'm going to be sharing a lot more content like this on this channel. If this was helpful, definitely click the like button below. If you like this, subscribe to the channel. If you're a strong woman, you want a strong man, and you want the benefits that a masculine man has, which is he's loving, he's loyal, he's a provider, he's a protector. He lets you just chill out, not have to do the work that you're doing in your amazing career and your life that you've already been doing. If you're like me, I'm a single mom, I'm a business owner, I have a lot of hats that I wear. And when I'm with a man, I want a masculine man, but masculine men are very, very different than what I call the feminine losers, liars, and little boys. These guys want masculine women, but they also don't make any effort. They have you doing all the work. They have you overwhelmed because you never know whether he likes you. They keep you in confusion. They keep you in doubt and insecurity because they're not making their intentions known. They're not reaching out to you. They're not pursuing you. Masculine men are totally different. And if you want to know how to attract a masculine man, I have a program called the Feminine Attraction System. Click the link below so you can learn all about it. It's a secret to attracting a masculine man that is loving and loyal, and helps you completely stop attracting the losers, liars, and little boys, and helps you only attract the men that you want, which are providers and protectors. If you like this video, again, share it with a friend, download the freebie, and if you're interested in knowing more on how to actually apply the concepts that I taught in this video, click the link below and download my program, the Feminine Attraction System. It's at a fast action price right now, and you could check it out below by clicking the link below. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in the next video.